Turbulence at MSNBC continues after the network canceled 3 more shows hosted by Ayman Mohyeldin, Katie Phang, and Jonathan Capehart. This follows on the heels of the axing of avid anti-Trump anchor Joy Reid's show, The Readout. She will be leaving the network entirely. Let's watch her tearful goodbye.
But I've been through every emotion from, anger, rage, disappointment, hurt, feeling that, guilt, that I let my team lose their jobs. But in the end, where I really land and where I've landed on today is just gratitude. My show had value, and that what I was doing had value.
I'm just calling balls and strikes. Clearly, it didn't have value, because if it had value, you'd still have a TV show there. Now, apparently, I said that they didn't fire her, but her show was canceled. It looks like she was fired. But there's a bunch of other shows. See, here's the thing, I don't know how this works. So her show and, Joy Reid, they're gone. But then there were other shows that were canceled, but the people weren't fired. And so that's what I figured happened. But it sounds like, Joy Reid has been, booted out the door. But I mean, clearly, if she had 1 million views every single night, they're not going to fire you for that. Are you kidding me? You would have got a raise, but you didn't have that. Because you can't tell people that Donald Trump is a textbook fascist and then expect to go on. I mean, you can't do that, because there are actual people out there in the real world who don't go to Starbucks with you, that are not on the same page, and they actually know what fascism is. And those are serious people, business owners, people in the government. They actually know what fascism is. So when you say that Donald Trump is a textbook fascist, well, you're either lying to the people willfully. What's worse, you just don't know what the word fascist means. That's even worse. So yeah. You're gone. You can't claim that it had value, but you were booted out of the building.
Had value, and in the end, I'm sorry. I try not to cry on TV, and I think this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And then it mattered.
MSNBC star Rachel Maddow went as far as to criticize her bosses.
There is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door.
Here's the thing. If that were true, if it's a bad mistake, if Rachel is right, then ABC and CBS and CNN, they're all drafting up contracts right now to snatch her up. There's probably a bidding war, right? But if your song is the only song you can sing, by the way, everybody loved that song, but it's the only song you have. You're like a one-hit wonder. And by the way, the people that loved that song, well, they've heard it so much, they don't want to hear it anymore. That's why they're called one-hit wonders, because their one hit and your one hit, it got tired. People don't want to hear that the commander-in-chief of the United States of America is actually a fascist, because he isn't. So if Rachel is right, hey, you're going to see Joy Reid take the spot of, George Stephanopoulos, who's another one that should be booted.
It is not my call, and I understand that, but that's what I think. I will tell you, it is also unnerving to see that on a network where we've got count them, two non-white hosts in primetime. Both of our non-white hosts in primetime are losing their shows, as is Katie Phang on the weekend. And that feels worse than bad, no matter who replaces them. That feels indefensible, and I do not defend it.
A source told the New York Post on Monday that staff working for Phang and Capehart were informed their shows would be cancelled, but the three hosts will remain at the network. Motadine and Capehart will host shows in new slots, and Phang will stay on as a legal correspondent.
So, how is that racist? Jonathan Capehart should be fired, but he's not. Now, for those of you who don't remember, that's the guy, he was doing a report on the, Department of Government Efficiency, and he goes, they call it Dodge, I call it dodgy. It's like, dude, why would you do that? You don't add anything to the story. You're not adding anything to the story. And you just shot your credibility in the face. And you shot your network's credibility in the face. They call it Dodge. I call it dodgy. It's like, dude, you didn't add any value to the story other than to say you're not trustworthy. But how are they still there? I thought this new boss is a racist. Apparently, she's probably just more concerned with, well, what most bosses are concerned with. The bottom line.
In other news, MSNBC's Jen Psaki will anchor a nightly show at 9 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, replacing Alex Wagner, who has hosted Alex Wagner Tonight for 2 years. This was announced in a memo from network president Rebecca Kutler to staffers on Monday. Wagner will remain at the network as an on-air correspondent. The massive shakeup comes as Kutler has been drawing up a new programming lineup to boost the channel's sagging ratings.
So that appears to be the bottom line, the sagging ratings. And my guess is your new boss has probably, and this is my guess, I don't know, but they probably gave her a window. We'll give you a year and a half, maybe 2 years to turn this around. If she doesn't turn it around, guess what ends up happening? She's going to get booted off. That's how it actually works out here. So what is it about Jonathan Capehart, a black dude, has no credibility whatsoever? He stays. Joy Reid doesn't. It's because of what I just told you. You got one song you can sing, and that's it. And people get sick and tired of that song. You got to do something new. And people, like, for instance, people said that Rachel Maddow, she did some unhinged defense of Joy Reid. That wasn't unhinged. I just showed you pieces of it. Did that sound unhinged to you? It sounded like she had thought it through. It sounded like she was calm and collected. It sounds like she's just voicing her opinion. That wasn't a rant. That wasn't unhinged. She just said, she used words like unnerving. And she used them in the most calm fashion that I'd ever seen. And I will tell you, it is unnerving that the two non-white hosts that we have here are no longer with the show. I just, hey, it is what it is, man. But Joy, if some black people, some people of color are still there and you're not, I think it's time to take stock. Maybe people don't want to, buy what you're selling. Namely, this popular president is a fascist. You got people out there, I'm sorry, because this bears repeating, you got people out there that are actually serious about getting the news. And so when you say things that are unserious, like Donald Trump is a fascist, it's incompatible, by the way, with capitalism, well, you're not going to get the serious people. You're just going to get other people who are suffering from the same ailment that you are suffering from, TDS. And you can't build a network on TDS. All right, guys, that's it for now. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe. And if you're following me on Rumble, please press that follow button. And until the next time, God bless.